He should be arrested, tried, convicted and imprisoned. Give him 5 years in Pentonville.
Disgraced Prince Andrew. He will now be known...
Just Andrew.
Well, just Andrew. I'm joined by Kinsey Scoffield, host of Kinsey Scoffield Unfiltered. Kinsey, thank you for coming in on this emergency occasion. I do really, really appreciate it. Look, I mean, there are some really, really big questions here to ask about the future of the royal family, where it sits. I mean, the past couple of months could not have been worse PR for the royals, genuinely. Of course, they were getting it from every which direction when, you know, Meghan and Harry were off on their gallivanting, you know, we want privacy tour. But now it's really at breaking point. There are serious allegations that were put against Andrew. We thought that basically when it came to Andrew, I really thought after Virginia's death, Virginia Giuffre, who is the probably the biggest accuser, the biggest public accuser of Andrew, that all these things had kind of been put to bed. I thought that when she died, she would actually be able to, well, Andrew and Fergie would be able to sort of disappear off into the shadows. They wouldn't be, you know, basically bothered by what Virginia Giuffre was alleging. I mean, we all know about that big payment that Virginia Giuffre received from Andrew. Now, Andrew claims that he never met her. He claimed in that Emily Maitlis interview he'd never met the woman that he paid £11 million to. Well, we learnt just a couple weeks ago that that actually wasn't true from leaked emails. We learnt that Andrew actually did know a lot about Virginia. He actually emailed Epstein saying we can ride this one out and kind of we will be friends again. I think those emails mixed with, there was also a China bit of news that was coming in to say that, you know, Andy had been playing ball with China. There were a couple of Chinese spies involved, all very sexy stuff, that made the king really push to have these titles removed. And I have to say, I never thought it had happened, so I'm actually in a bit of shock at the moment. Kinsey, what do you make of this whole thing?
Yeah, I did think it would happen, and if Harry and Meghan are watching, they should be incredibly concerned, because if it's this simple to take away Prince Andrew's titles, one day it could be this easy to take away Harry and Meghan's titles. Yeah, I think that the ultimate climax was, let's pretend that he's innocent of the Virginia Giuffre accusations. At the end of the day, there is a digital footprint to prove that he lied to the public about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein, and I think that that was really the climax. And a lot of people are saying that the family was kind of bullied into this decision.
Yep.
I think that they would have made this decision a long time ago had they had the freedom to, but I love Queen Elizabeth. I suspect that she was trying to protect who we know to be her favorite son.
Mummy's favorite boy.
I know, yeah. Well, we also
Makes
understand...
me a bit sick now thinking about
Prince
it.
Harry was her favorite too, so...
Well, you know, all these very strong women always have sort of these errors of judgment in their private lives, don't they?
Yeah.
I can definitely speak for that. But yeah, I mean, you're right. I think that's why nothing really severe did happen to him when the Queen was still alive, because he still was able to go to all the funerals, all the different processions. I mean, he famously walked her in to Prince Philip's funeral. So, you know, there's a lot still there, but now I think brother to brother, the king has had to say, no more, Andrew. You are not doing this to our family, and you're not doing this to the monarchy, and to be honest, even further, the country.
Right, yeah, it is humiliating for the country, because so far Prince Andrew's the biggest name to come out of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal, when we know that there are other people associated with Jeffrey Epstein, like, you know, former President Bill Clinton, Bill Gates. I heard you talking about Bill earlier. So some big
that lovely man.
Yeah. So some big personalities that are attached to him, and Prince Harry or Prince Andrew has been the biggest stain when it comes to that. But I also think that it didn't help. Every time we saw him attend church with the family, there were whispers about, is this appropriate? Should he be there? But his behavior at the Duchess of Kent's Prince funeral really turned a lot of people off. And to have that visual of him trying to crack jokes or make light of the situation next to a very stern-looking Prince William.
Oh, William wanted to get out of there.
A somber-looking Prince William who seemed to understand and accept the occasion. He was just acting appropriately, and there's just kind of like arrogant and entitled Prince Andrew trying to crack a joke. That turned a lot of people off. Fergie's email revelations calling Jeffrey Epstein's supreme friend. Andrew Loney reporting that Fergie and the daughters went to visit him after he was released from jail, one of the many times Epstein ended up in jail. So it was just too much. There was too much negative surrounding Andrew that was silencing all the good the royal family's been trying to do. I mean, I can't imagine the coverage that could have existed about the king going to Italy and praying with Pope Leo had all of the Andrew drama not been exploding within the days, hours, and minutes leading up to that trip to the Vatican.
No, you're completely right. And the main thing as well is obviously the way that they kept in contact with Epstein after he was convicted of pedophilia and sex trafficking. And that is really, really damning. I've actually just seen that Virginia, the Giuffre family, so that's obviously Virginia's husband who she left behind, and children, have said that Virginia brought down a British prince. That is their official statement now. They said today an ordinary American girl from an ordinary American family has brought down a British prince. And that almost gives me chills. That really does. I mean, I know that there's a lot of different coverage and a lot of different accounts around Virginia Giuffre, but I do think that this book, Nobody's Girl, had a lot to do with pushing the king's hand to get rid of those titles. And you are right. We were told, you couldn't be stripped of titles. It wasn't a thing that happened. Well, apparently it is. It sets a precedent, definitely, for when William comes in and says, okay, Harry and Megs, you're out. Those titles are not, they're not staying. You've disgraced the family.
Right.
I mean, Harry and Meghan were the original people to kind of, Andrew had been disgracing the family for a very long time, but Harry and Meghan are the ones who started really airing that dirty laundry out there. Do you see Harry and Meghan being stripped of titles in the future?
Well, here's the difference. Like, I've said this a couple of times, but I think I finally, I feel like I finally fleshed out the actual thought. So morally, I feel like Prince Andrew is potentially the most corrupt in this scenario. I'm really distraught over the disloyalty from Harry and Meghan, and that's what I've said over the last few days. If I have to pick the worst of two evils, it's Prince Andrew. However, Harry and Meghan have, in my opinion, lied about the British royal family.
Yes.
Those racism allegations were incredibly harmful. And what was your objective there? It was to harm the British royal family. So I wonder how much they really could even out based on the fact that I believe that Harry and Meghan have told lies to elevate themselves and to intentionally hurt the institution.